Miley McKay here. How's everyone doing? Happy holidays, and I'm here today to talk about something interesting that happened the last couple days ago, I think. Been almost a week. I got a new 4K TV. I also got a new Xbox. You can see the logo for it in the corner there. The Xbox is right. Here's a new Xbox. Ignore the mess on the table. They cleaned the table off. So there's my Xbox, my Series X. This TV was an absolute bitch to get on. So this TV is mounted to the wall, and it was an absolute bitch doing so. Like, it was a big pain in the ass. Because, basically what happened was, it was basically a thing to try to get, it was basically, best way I can put this is, it was basically an episode of me and my dad trying not to break the damn thing. Because when we got it, so, we bought this a week ago almost, it's been almost a week, and basically what happened was we bought it, and it didn't fit in our car, because it's so gigantic. It's way bigger than the last TV I had set up here. It's a full 4K TV, so I can finally watch my 4K movies properly, and what have you, but the problem was it didn't fit in the damn car. And so we almost didn't even bring it home. And luckily there was some guy, I don't even know, I don't even remember his name now. There was a guy that worked at my local Walmart right up the street from me, that actually helped us and drove it home for me. Put the TV in the back of his truck, he drove it home. He drove it to my house. And we paid him for it, of course. But yeah, we almost didn't even bring it home because it didn't even fit in the damn car. And then when we got it home, we realized that it didn't fit on my counter. We were gonna just set it on the counter, which, yeah, that didn't end up happening. It would have been fine if the legs were if the legs were close together on the bottom of it when we put the legs on, but they weren't. Or at least not like the last TV I had. So that didn't end up happening. We ended up having my dad to go right back up to Walmart, buy a cheap wall mount kit, and then we had to mount it on the wall. And it took forever. Well, it took about an hour for us to get all the parts together. The part on the wall in here screwed on, and the part on the back of the TV screwed on. And then we had to carry this thing from my garage all the way into the house. And my garage is not that close to the house, and we have to go around the back door because the front door fucking broke a few years ago. So it was all that shit. Oh, and it was sprinkling outside when it happened, and it rained harder later that night, but we literally carried this TV all the way from the garage to the back door of my house, got it in the back door, got it in the living room, I moved my feet, and finally got it on the wall. When we were doing it, though, this thing must be built better than the other ones I've had, because when we were doing this, we jostled it around quite a bit, we bumped it around, and it didn't break the screen. And that was my biggest fear. It was such a stressful thing, because the biggest fear in me was that we were going to break this trying, and that would suck. A lot. Because no one wants to break their new expensive TV. And yeah. But no one wants to break a new TV. That's never fun, especially when you pay $400 for it. And then the Xbox actually was really cheap, ridiculously cheap. And before you you got your Christmas early? Kind of. The Xbox was supposed to be a Christmas gift, but I needed my Blu-ray player was going out and I had no other source of entertainment. So my dad gave me the Xbox Now, and then we went, and because he couldn't hide it from me, we just went and bought the TV, because there's no way. He would have done it for Christmas, but as he told me, there's no fucking way he'd be able to hide it. So that happened. It was just a whole lot of stress. But it's finally on the wall, it's finally fine. And it is a 4K UHD TV, so there's that. The funny thing is, when I first turned it on, I started using my new video games and my 4K movies with it and stuff, My dad thought that I didn't have it set to 4K. This TV doesn't work like that. That's the weird thing about it. It doesn't, like normally with there's a lot of new TVs now, you can switch the picture quality or whatever. You can do 1080p or with your standard high def, and then 4K UHD. Usually with a lot of them. This one doesn't do that. This one's only on 4K. It doesn't have any other modes you can switch it to. And it's also, it doesn't have... So a lot of 4K TVs, like when you're watching stuff, it looks like a soap opera. Like, you know what I mean? Like it has that weird jarring movement. That is because of what's known as motion smoothing. This TV also doesn't have motion smoothing, so I didn't have to worry about that, thank God. But my dad thought it was supposed to look like that. For those out there that don't know, no, it is not supposed to look like that. It is supposed to... It's not supposed to look like that. It's not supposed to have that jarring movement. Most people that have TVs that do that, it's either because they either can't turn it off or don't even know that they can turn it off. It's one of the two. And I hate motion smoothing because it makes everything look fake. Like, more so than normal. And it makes movies look terrible. And I should know. So earlier this year, back in the early spring and summer, I did house sitting at a friend of my dad's house. We had to go stay over there for weeks on end, and we did some house sitting. And her name was Sherry, and she had a big old 4K TV, but she had motion smoothing turned on, so everything looked fucking weird. And everything looked terrible. But this TV, thankfully, doesn't have that. But like I said, it was absolutely stressful getting it up here, so... And I almost thought for a minute that I wouldn't be able to lift it as high as it is on the wall, get up there, because... Okay. This doesn't weigh shit. It's awfully light for a 65-inch TV. And that's mostly because of how thin it is. It gets ridiculously thin, except for, like, the base part. Down here, this is not very thin. It's thicker, but the rest of the TV is fairly thin. But it was one of those things, like I thought we were gonna break it trying to get it up here, but we didn't, luckily. And like we were sitting there thinking it was broken the whole time, and then I went to turn it on after we plugged it in, I was like, huzzah! Thank God! Because then we'd have to start the whole process all over again with a new TV, take it back to Walmart, get our money back. Whole new process. It just would have been awful. Another funny thing about this TV is when we got it, I thought it was the same size as the one I used to have, which is on the floor beside me right now. I need to move it in another room. That is, I want to keep it, although I don't care to keep it because the old TV has a crack in it, so there's this big black line that goes down the one side of the screen. So I really don't care to keep that other TV, but I might need it if something happens to this one, which you probably won't. This TV is quite durable for a Roku, and I say that coming from and this is coming from the guy that's broke 4 Rokus now. I broke a lot of these TVs. Never a big 4K one like this. All the ones I broke were like those small 1080p ones, like the 33-inch ones. But I thought this was like the same size as the old TV that used to sit on my counter, and then it turns out it's like insanely gigantic compared to it. The other TV is quite big. It's like a 50-inch or something like that. It's not small, but I never thought anything would make what I considered a giant TV before I had this 4K one look small. It's definitely not as big as that fucking 65-inch. It's insane how much bigger this thing actually is. And I didn't think this was that big at all. So, but it is. But it's great. I finally have my gaming setup I've always wanted. And not just that, but I also got a mic, Turtle Beach mic, well, headset with the mic that plugs into it. It's got the soft piece on there, which I like, because at least you're not going to hear any background noise with that. There's so many people I play Call of Duty with right now that when you when you play with them, you can hear all their freaking, like when their mics are on, you can hear all the background shit. I've heard people yelling at their kids. I heard a lady screaming at her child, and her child's crying. So I guess they got in trouble for playing the game. It's pretty funny. I even had one interaction last night, I think, by the time of this recording. I was sniping in a level, and some guy saw me. He's like, "Sniper up top." I was like, "Oh shit, gotta move, gotta move, gotta move." And I got out of there. I really, really pissed that guy off. But yeah, I'm very happy with my new setup. So, been a fairly short video for today. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and have a very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Bye bye.